everyone, good morning from Coram Deo Farm. I'm Alex, and this morning when I was out in the garden watering early this morning at sunrise, I noticed that I think I have enough vegetables that I can harvest for dinner tonight. And I'm kind of in the single digits now with vegetables, and I would hate to just leave it on the vine because I don't have enough to can or to make sauce and all of that stuff with. So I've got a lot of individuals, but I want to go in the garden, take you with me, and harvest the veggies that are ready and get creative to use for dinner tonight. Show you the basket I'm going to use for harvesting. My brother is a really talented woodworker. He asked me for Christmas what I wanted for Christmas, and I sent him a link to a Gardener's Supply harvesting basket thinking he would just buy it and send it to me for Christmas, but no, he made me one. And this is it. I'm so excited. The best part about it is the handle is from a tree in his own yard in California. He cut it down, smoothed it out, so it's like rustic and really neat. And the awesome thing is, instead of the Gardener's Supply one, it's much shorter. He made me a longer one too, so that if I was in the garden and I also wanted to cut a flower with a longer stem, I could lay it gently in the basket too. So I'm so excited to use it for the first time. So thank you, Jimmy. If you recall from my tomato trellising video, I had said that I was pinching off the blossoms. I didn't want the tomatoes to start quite yet because I wanted them to set strong roots and grow tall before they start to tomato. But this guy had snuck through, and I said I was going to let him live, and he is ready to pick finally. You can tell though the difference. He is the shortest out of all the tomatoes in this row because he's been putting all his energy into making this tomato. So I think once I cut him, we'll start getting some new foliage. Yummy. Okay. I am not winning the squash battle. I was really optimistic. We have been checking every day, but it is a squash bug nightmare. I've already lost one. I angrily ripped him out of the ground and threw him over the fence yesterday. But these guys aren't dead yet, but I do think they're gonna succumb to damage. So my best hope is I'm gonna let the fruit that's already been pollinated, the vegetables, ripen, and then I'm probably gonna rip these all out and probably put tomatoes in here. But last night, during my freak out of seeing how many squash bugs I had, I cut the ripe squash, the yellow squash that was on there. So I left it out in the garden overnight, but I'm gonna take it in and hopefully make some delicious zucchini bread and freeze the extra. So I'm in my cucumber bed. I planted about 8 bush cucumbers, but then I have 1 vining pickling cucumber. That's why I have a vertical trellis here. And I've got 1 cucumber, a Boston pickling variety that is ready. He's actually even maybe past, he's so fatty. But I don't want to leave him to die, so I'm going to cut him and I'm going to do a quick pickle, refrigerator pickles with this guy. Yay! He's stabby. Ouch. I'm here in my bush bean section. On this side of the garden I have big kahuna, and on the other side I have nickel beans. I'm having a big bean issue in the garden. They're all succumbing to mosaic virus. I had to rip out my Kentucky beans already on the trellis. I'm seeing signs of the virus here. Probably gonna succumb to my purple beans. I'm so bummed. There are 2 main reasons for mosaic virus. One, you could just have a sick seed, or second, it's spread by aphids. I don't think that I got 4 different varieties of sick seeds. So I think it's an aphid issue. You can't fix it. There's no spray. There's nothing I can do at this point to fix it. The best thing I could have done was to avoid the aphid issue, but that's a whole other can of worms to go into of how I could have prevented that. But another thing you can do is to plant mosaic resistant varieties, and some of them are like that. And so I just need to do some more research for planting next year, that I'm going to try to plant mosaic virus resistant varieties to see what happens. These plants aren't dead. They have beans. I'm going to harvest them. They are going to die eventually. So my plan is harvest as much as I can. Once they stop producing and are clearly too stressed, I'm going to rip them out, and I'm either going to plant another vegetable, maybe like some more cucumbers or something, or I might even just seed the big kahunas again and see maybe if I have a better aphid control policy, I can get a non-sick crop later in the summer. Not sure, but let's get some beans. It's not a ton, it's not as much as I expect to be harvesting, say, in August, but it's enough for pickles, tomato for a sandwich. I'm going to dehydrate this basil, put it in jars for seasoning, and grate some squash for some zucchini bread, and green beans for dinner. So I think it's pretty good. I'm excited. I'm talking. See you in the next video.